Hello. Good thanks, how are you? We're here to camp.
Welcome back to Dogs of the Wind. On this adventure, we travel across the border to Mozambique, to the Maputo Special Reserve. But first, we spend one night camping on the banks of Lake St. Lucia at False Bay campsite. We were greeted by a peaceful scene of Nyala at sunset and an exquisite view.
After a long day in the car, we have arrived at Mfolozi and we're staying at False Bay just for the night. And then we can transit into Mozambique tomorrow.
It's beautiful here.
We thought we'd arrive earlier, but because the GPS said it was only 500 kilometers, but the roads are in terrible condition and some of the places were only going at 60. So yeah, we're here. We're going to enjoy the evening and then we will head into Mozambique tomorrow. We have just finished taking down the tent from our one night stay here at False Bay Nature Reserve. And Lindsay has just said that we were woken up at 5:30 with a hyena stealing our bag of bags and licking our teapot very loudly. So yeah, very eventful evening here at False Bay. And today we're going to Mozambique.
Just as the sun peaked over the horizon, we embarked off towards the Mozambican border. So, we have crossed the border into Mozambique. The border crossing was pretty easy. Luckily we had all the paperwork that was required and we didn't have to pay any fees. It was very painless. And now we are very excited to be in Mozambique.
So we have just had some breakfast at Cafe Love in Ponta. We're gonna go pop into a bottle store and maybe get some R&R. And here we are. So currently we're just walking around and we're gonna head over to Ponta later. We don't actually know how to pronounce it, so we're going to be using lots of different pronunciations. Hopefully one of them sticks. We are at Maputo Special Reserve. We're just about to enter the park and we're going to deflate some tires. We have entered Maputo Special Reserve. We're currently just in the beginning drive and it is pretty damn amazing.
As we made our way through the thick sand roads that cut their way through the dunes and forests, we spotted many beautiful but shy red duikers.
After some very adventurous sand driving, where there's literally only one road for both way traffic, we have arrived. We still have a way to go, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Bye.
We saw many birds and antelope on our long drive into the reserve. But the highlight of the drive was a sighting of the Maputo Special Reserve elephants. The reserve was originally named the Maputo Special Elephant Reserve, as it was originally established with elephant conservation in mind. But it was later renamed to acknowledge the conservation of other wildlife. These ellies are indeed very special. They are survivors. According to the Peace Parks Foundation, during the Mozambican War of 1975 to 1992, these elephants suffered greatly from setting off landmines and getting caught in snares. Fortunately, the elephants survived the Civil War, and they are now a thriving population of roughly 400 strong, roaming the floodplains and thick dune forests of the Special Reserve. They are still fairly shy compared to the elephants of Kruger, who are much more habituated to humans. Indeed, all the game we saw in the Special Reserve could be described as extremely wild and skittish around humans. Except for this giant python right next to the road, which showed no sign of fear at the sight of our vehicle.
Just been driving around the Maputo Special Reserve, ducking and diving through sand dunes, and we have seen the mother of all pythons. Huge, massive. I think it looks like a tire that's been cut in half and stretched out. I can't believe it. This thing is like the rumored Impala eater.
Just after seeing our giant snake, we spotted a snake eagle. Although we only identified it later, we were in luck, as it was a lifer for us and one of the Special Reserve's flagship species, the critically endangered southern banded snake eagle. After almost 3 hours of driving inside the reserve, we finally approached Ponta.
So, we have just signed in to Ponta, and we're heading to our campsite now. Okay. We have just arrived at Ponta, our campsite. Private campsite essentially, campsite number 5, and you can see here that we have fire pit, our own ablutions, and a little place to set up the tent.
After setting up the tent, it was time to crack open a Dois M.
Tastes like Mozambique.
And of course, start a cozy campfire.
So, ends our first day at Ponta. We left Impolozi around about 6 o'clock this morning, and we got to the border post around about 9, and then we got to camp in Ponta around about 2:30, 3.
So it was a long day on the road.
Yeah, so even though Google says it might only be about 60 kilometers from the border post to Ponta. Just be aware that the sand roads are quite long. They are quite slow
And challenging.
and they are quite soft, especially at the end of a day. That is us for the evening. Hope you enjoyed our day.
We had a lovely dinner of chicken rolls.
And we will then see you tomorrow.
Join us next time as we explore Ponta and voyage deeper into the special reserve.
So, Lindsay, what did you say about breakfast?
You know you're in Mozambique when your breakfast gets served with hot sauce.
There we go.
In Mozambique.
See, now she sings.
There you go.
Tastes like beer.
Right, that's not right.